We have lots to cover tonight, and I am going to do a lot of teaching. I'm going to share my experience and my story a little bit with you guys around this topic. The reason why I felt called to do this tonight is it's been something that's been coming up a lot for a lot of you that are in this group, and a lot of the people that I connect with, whether it's the people I coach, people that I'm friends with. I just feel this come up a lot in conversation is you just feel disconnected. So, hi guys, it is Katie Henry here. I am talking to you today about feelings. So, what I really want to touch on is what the heck does that mean, right? Number one. Number two, how do you feel? And I ask that question a lot to you guys, right? Like, how do you feel? How do you feel today? Or how do you want to feel? And sometimes it's like, oh, this is a great topic, Katie. Nice, thank you. Thanks for asking. Well, how do I want to feel? I want to feel great. Of course I want to feel great. That's not exactly what I mean. And it's honestly, as someone who felt like everything was good and everything was great and everything felt pretty good for most of my life until I realized that I was actually numbing myself from what I really wanted and how I really wanted to feel. So that is what we're going to talk about today. How do you really want to feel? And then how do you actually do that? Because I've said this a lot, and for those of you who know me and know a little more about, my experience, I was numb to feelings for a long time, and I didn't really realize that. But what I have learned is that once you connect with the feelings and you feel the feelings, as I like to say, it's actually very freeing and it's actually very liberating. So what do I mean when I say this? Well, first off, I want to explain to you guys the difference between feelings and emotions, because there is a difference. And I would like to say that I'm also not pulling this out of my ass. My majors in college were biology, and I minored in psychology, but I was like one class short from double majoring. And I decided, you know what, I need to not take a bajillion classes. So, and I also explain a lot of the science of all of this stuff. So if you have more questions on the scientific basis and the scientific information around what I'm touching on today, and you want to know more, just let me know. And I'm happy to dive deeper into that. But that's not the focus of today. But what I want to explain to you is that there is a lot of science behind this stuff. And there is also a lot of spirituality and faith and connection in all of this stuff. So just hear that. And for those of you who are joining live, just please comment and introduce yourself and say that you're here, just so that I can make sure I can see everything coming in. Thank you. Okay, so emotions are usually in our head. And it's not I don't mean in our head, but it's really something that happens in our mind. Oh, I'm mad, I'm stressed, I'm whatever. And it's something that you may be thinking about, or you're overthinking it. Whereas feelings are really in the body, and they show up if you feel something. Hi, Kim. If you feel something, you're going to feel it show up in a certain part of your body, per se. And if you were like, I have no idea what you're talking about, Katie, we're going to go there. Don't worry. But a feeling is something that you'll get this gut reaction to, or you may get the chills, or you may get the tingles when you feel, or you're feeling in love. I think that's a really good one that a lot of people can relate to. It's oh, you feel your heart beating faster. You may get this knot in your stomach because you're excited, or your legs are twitching or anything like that. Like that, the feelings show up in your body, and they show up in different places, and they can kind of resonate in a different way, where as your emotions are real, true, and the same, and sometimes it's the same word, but it's more in your head and in your mind, and feelings are really in your body. And those of you who have known me for a long time, like my initial training is as a physical therapist, and I'm all about the human body and movement, and how movement can be extremely healing. But movement can be extremely healing when it comes to your feelings as well, because it helps you get into your body. And that is what this is really about. And that's a really huge piece of what I'm about, is getting out of your head and overthinking and overanalyzing everything, because that is what I did for nearly probably 30 years. And you know what? I still do it. And yes, I'm older than 30 years old, even though I look like I'm not. But it's about getting into your body and actually feeling things. And you can do that through movement. And that's why I think movement can be so powerful, because it can be a simple movement that can shift things really, really, really quickly. And it's getting connected to that. So I take that background that I had as a physical therapist, but here's the thing, guys. That is kind of what had me numb a little bit, because on a daily basis for 5 years, I worked at a trauma center, at a rehab hospital, the Rehab Institute of Chicago. They just renamed it. That's irrelevant to this conversation. And I dealt with trauma, physical trauma every single day. But I also dealt with their emotional trauma and emotional pain. Not only the patients and the kids I was working with, but their families, right? And I didn't really realize how much that affected me. And I looked at it as more of, well, my job here is to help these people. My job is to get them to move on their own into the best of their ability. My job is to get them back to their normal self as much as I can. My job is to get them to walk. My job is to get them to be able to move their body, to get their brain firing again. All of those things, right? But what my job also was to tell them that it's going to be okay. To tell them to expect for a miracle. To tell them that, you know what? The odds are against us, but we're going to do everything we can to make sure that you, your child, whoever I was talking to, whether it was the patient or the parents, I'm going to do the best I can to make things better for you. And in doing that, I kind of had to pretend like these really intense situations I was dealing with on a daily basis weren't affecting me. And I just kind of numbed it down. And I was like, oh, yeah, it's no big deal. I just had to tell that family that their child will never walk again. No big deal. That's a huge deal. That's a huge deal. And how much, I mean, I was basically telling a lot of these people, not all the time, that, you know what, I'm going to do the best I can, but it's highly likely that you will spend the rest of your life in a wheelchair. How do you tell an 18-year-old kid who is literally just starting their life? I mean, I had a kid who was a motocross racer, and he was fantastic. He was top and in his age group and all that stuff. And that was his life. That was his family's life. Everything revolved around that. He had an accident where his bike fell on his chest and he was paralyzed from the chest down. That was it for him. He was like, my life is over. And I remember walking into his room one day and I said, listen, buddy, you have a choice, right? And you guys, this is actually the same exact message I have that I had then. So I told him, you have a choice. You can either sit in this bed and say, you know what, this is it. This is my life. This sucks. And you can stay in that bed for the rest of your life. Or you can decide to make the most out of this situation, because guess what? You still have your brain. You still have your thoughts. You still are the same exact person. You just can't move your legs. So you can get your ass out of that bed, get in your chair, and work with me, and let's see how much you can do on your own. and you can still have an independent life. You pick. And I left his room and I came back and his mom was like, oh my gosh, he needed that. And I walked away and I didn't realize what an intense conversation had just gone on. And I didn't realize how much that affected me because I just pushed it down, and pushed it down. P.S. That kid got out of his bed. He said, thank you, Katie, for waking my ass up. And now the kid is back on his motocross bike in an adapted bike with his feet in a cage, and he uses his hands to shift all the gears and stuff. And he's making the most out of his life because he made a choice. And this is the same thing I talked to all of you guys about, is you can choose to live in this fear and in this, oh my gosh, what is going to happen thing. You can choose that, or you can choose joy. And you can choose to set your life up in a way that you are doing things that you love, doing things that light you up. You can choose that. And you can choose that if your situation is, oh my gosh, I'm never going to be able to move my legs again. Or if your situation is, oh my gosh, I have no idea what job I'm going to do. Or your business is, you're starting out, you're just working so hard on your business or in your job or whatever you're doing, and you're just like, God, I'm struggling. Like, why is this so hard? Or you're a mom and you're like, I just want 2 seconds to myself to breathe. Because I know every single one of you who's listening is similar to me, and you give and you give and you give to everybody else. And it is so hard for you to do something for yourself. And because you give and give and give so much, because you care so much, because you want to make an impact in this world with whatever you're doing. And that role for you, that job for you, is what you're meant to be. So whether that is a successful entrepreneur, whether that is a nurse, whether that is a mom, whether that is just showing up as the person that you are meant to be, that is who you are. And you are a giving, caring, compassionate person because that's who you are. But in the same breath, that is actually destroying you because you are doing so much for everybody else and you're saying, I'm okay, it's fine, I've got it all together. You guys, I know exactly what's that like because that was literally my story in my life. So I gave you that example from my job as a physical therapist, but it was also my story in relationships with men. It was my story in relationships with my friends. I got it. I'll do it for you guys. I'll do it for you guys. No, I'm fine. Don't even worry. I'm good. I'm not going to actually say how I really feel and da-da-da-da-da. But I'm telling you that doing that and like, I was trying to be a martyr, but not intentionally, but I was like, it's fine, I'm good. You guys, that doesn't serve anybody. It doesn't serve you, number one, but it also doesn't serve all the people that you are meant to serve and help and impact. If you're a teacher, if you're a coach, if you're a healthcare provider of some form, if you're a mom, if you're a if you're a sister, if you're a human being who gives a flying F about someone else, you got to do stuff for yourself first, right? And I believe that really starts with tapping into your feelings and getting connected to that. Because a lot of us who give and give and give and give to everybody else don't give to ourselves, but we also have no clue what we really want. And we have no clue with how we really want to feel. And we have no clue on how we can show up for ourselves because we've never really done that. And maybe you have, but you did it so long ago that you can't even remember what that's like. Like, are you with me? Do you know what that feels like? Let me know. You guys can comment below. I can see them. They're popping up on my phone now. I can see them. If you know what I'm talking about, let me know. I know a lot of you guys have felt this way because you've told me. You're like, I feel numb. And it's not that you're a cold-hearted bitch by any means. You're actually the complete opposite of that. But you've just given so much of your heart and soul to other people that you don't have a lot of it left for yourself. And I want you to get that back for yourself. So here's what we're going to go into a little bit more today. And I get really fired up and passionate about this stuff, guys. So I want you to, if you have a pen and paper and you want to take notes here, this is the time, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you 5 steps, and I'll be honest, I'll probably add a few more in, of things to start to do to how to really get into your feelings and how to feel. And then a couple of you guys asked some questions in advance, so I'm going to address those as well. But I want to talk through these points first and then go into some of the questions. And then if any of you have questions as they come up, just post them here, or you can reach out to me later on, and I will get back to you with answers. And then I'm going to tell you about some cool things that I'm creating based on all of this stuff, because it's something that I needed, and I wish I had. I really truly wish I had this. I wish I had this when I was suffering more than I realized, and I don't want you, if you are feeling this way at all, or you're just feeling like exhausted and depleted and you have no idea why, or you're just doing so much and you don't even know like where to start to do things for yourself because you feel so guilty about it. You guys, please don't feel guilty about it. You have to take care of yourself. You have to make yourself a priority. You really, truly do. So I believe that a really good and a really powerful way to do that is through getting into these feelings and how they feel, and getting into your body and connecting to that. That's what I believe. And that's what I've learned, and that's what I've taught people how to do. If that doesn't resonate with you, that's totally okay. That's okay. But if you're feeling this way, I really strongly encourage you to hear what I have to say and just think, could this help me? Okay? So the first thing to do is basically what all of you have done, which is recognize that you're feeling a little off. And by off, I mean you're not feeling quite like yourself, or you're feeling like you don't know how to feel. You're feeling like there's something in you that you want to do differently, or there's something that you want to shift. There's something that you want to change. There's something that just isn't quite sitting with you in this moment. And the first step is to really recognize that and say, okay, something's off, but here's what I want to tell you. When you recognize that something's off, that does not mean that there is something wrong with you. There is nothing wrong with you. If you are sensitive, actually, I'm going to kind of tap into one of these questions already. If you are sensitive and you are feeling things and you are like, something feels weird, something feels different, am I being too sensitive, or am I being too emotional? No, that is a good thing. You want to feel this stuff. And you want to feel it, but you don't want to judge it. You want to notice it. So it's the first step is really recognizing that these feelings are coming up, or recognizing that something just feels a little off. And that first step might be recognizing that you feel kind of numb. Because guess what? Numb is still a feeling. It's a feeling. Because you can feel it in your body, right? So once you notice these feelings, good, bad, anything in between, I just want you to start noticing them, okay? So recognizing it, Recognize is the first step. Step 2 is noticing what's going on and starting to get curious with it. So you notice that, something's off, and then you start to wonder, okay, why? Okay, what is different here? What is off? And just start to get curious and start to ask yourself questions. And here's the thing, guys. When you start to do this, I don't want you to obsess about every single feeling, every single little thing, because then that can get overwhelming. I don't want you to do that. I just want you to notice it. And if you start to notice a pattern, you say, gosh, I really am getting frustrated a lot. I'm getting frustrated with this. I'm getting frustrated with that. I'm getting frustrated with whatever. Okay, you are feeling frustrated. Good job. You've noticed the feeling. I personally like to journal. And I like to write it down because then you are bringing it to your awareness. And now, some of you guys that practice law of attraction, or if you know what that means, you may be saying, oh my gosh, Katie, why would I do that? Because I'm bringing awareness to things that are bad. And I'm not saying that's not what you're doing 100%, because you're also bringing awareness to feelings that are good, okay? So you're just bringing awareness to feelings that come up for you. So things that come up for you. And feelings are things that show up more in your body. So if you get this like tingly sensation when something happens, or you get this like jolt, or you feel like you can't catch your breath, or you feel like this twinge in your stomach, or you get a tingle in your arm or leg, or those are things that I want you to start to notice. And I want you to start to wonder like, okay, what's going on here? What is the situation? And it's then taking that inquisition and that curiosity and wondering, okay, what's going on here, and noticing it. And I want you to notice where it's showing up in your body, because there's probably going to be a theme. If you're feeling frustrated or annoyed or angry or pissed, there's probably going to be some tension showing up in your head, neck, and shoulders. That's just that area of your body. It has to do with those chakras and all that stuff. And I'm not going to go into all of that because that's a whole nother thing. Or you may feel like you're having a hard time speaking up, or you're getting really frustrated and annoyed, and it happens to be that like people keep cutting you off in a conversation. People keep telling you, no, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that, you shouldn't do whatever. That was me. I felt that tightness in my throat and in my chest, because that's your throat chakra and your heart chakra, where you're trying to come from this. And you guys might feel this a lot because you are heart-centered people and you are people who give. You're coming from your heart and you're giving generously, but people are shutting it down. Or people are telling you, no, you shouldn't do that, you should do that, you should do that. Or you're giving so much to people and no one is saying thank you. I felt that way a lot. And it's not that you're giving and wanting something in return. You just want to have someone say, thank you for doing X, Y, and Z. You know, that is honestly all I wanted. That was all I wanted at my old job. I just wanted someone to say, thank you, Katie, for the work you're doing. I appreciate it. That's all. That's why when anyone says something complimentary to me, my first reaction is, thank you, I appreciate you. Because I do. And it's something that we don't acknowledge enough, right? You want to appreciate people for what they have. So anyways, I want you to start to notice where these feelings are coming up in your body. So that's what I mean, like frustration, anger. Just notice where feels tense, where feels like you're a little bit ignited. You're going to feel it and you're going to notice it. But I'm very in tune with my body. So this is easy for me. For some of you who are like, I have no clue what the heck you mean, I just want you to start to recognize the feeling, start to question it, and then notice where it shows up. As you start to get into more of this awareness of these feelings, of this numbness that you may have right now, you're going to notice that it does show up in different parts of your body. It does. The mind and body are really, really connected. And that's a huge thing that I'm about. And it's about just starting to notice things that show up in your body, because guess what? A lot of these health conditions, illnesses, ailments, physical injuries that I've worked with for years have an emotional tie to it. So you can approach it in two different ways. You can approach it from the physical standpoint, which I've done for years, and you can also approach it from the emotional standpoint and the spiritual standpoint, which I've also started to do a lot more. But what is really powerful is when you combine the two. And you help yourself physically, the three pieces, I guess, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. And that's exactly what we're talking about here. So you're recognizing the feelings, you're recognizing that emotional piece, the feelings, emotions, all of that kind of mind part. You're recognizing where it shows up in your body. That's the body part. And then I'm going to talk about the spiritual part in a second. So this whole process is really how you take the mind, body, and spirit and connect it together and start to recognize patterns and things and start to be able to shift this stuff. And that's how you really can start to actually feel the feelings. Because it's not just, oh, I'm mad, da, 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 da. No, that mad, that anger, whatever, if it's a real feeling, it's going to show up somewhere in your body. And then you can feel it and you can connect to it. And if it's a negative emotion, then you can release it. And you can let it go. And that is step 4. Let that shit go. Let go of the things that do not serve you. Let go of the feelings that do not serve you. Let go of the people that do not serve you. Let go of the situations. But most importantly, let go of the negative thoughts that are not true, that you are telling yourself. Let them go. So I want you guys to let it go. To when you say, I want to do something, like if you were here and you're like, man, I am numb. That's bad. Gosh, I wish I could feel that. No, let that go. That is not true. That is a lie. You are not bad. You are not, it is not bad that you don't know how to feel these things. It's not bad. You do not have to change who you are, okay? It's not bad. It's fear is false evidence appearing real, right? You're afraid to feel because you don't know how, right? You're afraid. That fear is just your ego and your thoughts taking over. Guess what? You have a choice, and you can not control that, but you can change it. I want you to look at this. If you're feeling stuck in these feelings, these emotions, and really getting connected to it, this is an opportunity. This is an exciting time for you guys. This is exciting because it's an opportunity for you to make a change, to make a shift, to transform, to literally change your life by changing the way you think. And changing your thoughts, changing your beliefs, changing your actions, and then changing how you show up in this world, right? So that's how you do. You let it go and you can move on. But guess what? You want to know a way to move on? Move your body. Move. Let it go. So, okay, you've recognized that you're feeling a certain way. You start to notice and observe what's going on around you, and you've gotten curious. And number 3, sorry, something just popped up here. Number 3 is you're noticing how things are showing up in your body and where they're showing up in your body. Step 4 is to let it go and move. Move around. So this can be intense or it can be easier. It's up to you. Do some form of movement that feels good for you. Today, I went for a run along the beach because that felt really good for me today. It did. It felt really good. And I had a pretty good day, I'm not going to lie. But if I'm feeling off, especially when I'm feeling off, when I'm feeling frustrated, angry, or mad, I have to move. And here's the reason why you guys want to move. Because movement is in this rhythm. So whether it's walking, running, yoga, Pilates, dance, some form of exercise, you are getting your body into a rhythm, into the sync. You know, I think walking and running is a really good way. It's just literally go for a walk because you get your body in a rhythm. You know what else is in rhythm? Oh, literally everything in your body. Your heartbeat, your respiratory rate, your nervous system and how things fire. Everything in your body is kind of on this timer and on this pattern. So when you move, you allow yourself to get more in sync with your body, and then you can let the things go that don't serve you, and you can let your body work how it's supposed to, and things can be more in flow. So when you're feeling either numb, angry, stressed, mad, whatever, any of these quote unquote negative things that you want to let it go in your mind, but then go move so you can actually energetically let it go and let it out of your body. I also think one of the best ways to do this is dancing. You know, put on a song and literally just shake it out. Dance. Some of you guys that have done some of my other trainings, I make you like dance, jiggle, and go like that. And you may think that's kind of nuts, but I want you to do that for 30 seconds and not smile after. Like, run around, jump up and down, do whatever. It's going to shift your mood. It's going to make you feel better because that's a way you can get into your body and get into a flow. Okay? So put on a song that you love. Put on a song that feels good to move to and move. Move. Because that's how you can connect more to your body, and that's how you can connect it to feelings. And the last step is once you let go of the things that don't serve you, is really allowing yourself to explore what it feels like to actually feel, because you probably haven't for a while, right? And it's just allowing yourself to feel these feelings that are coming up for you. Really allowing yourself to feel it. So sit there and actually notice how it feels. Don't judge it. Don't think. Stop thinking and just feel. And this can be done through, a meditation. It can be done by sitting and closing your eyes and taking 5 deep breaths. After you've done these couple steps, and just noticing what it feels like to let things go. So here's a way you can do this in literally 5 minutes. You get home from work and you're just like, oh gosh, I'm so annoyed right now. Number 1, you're annoyed. Notice what's going on around you. You had a really bad day at work. Okay? Number 3, what's going on in your body? Oh man, I have a headache. Okay? Number 4, okay, do I really need to feel this annoyed and mad and just super frustrated right now? Is that really like what I want and desire to feel? Well, no. Okay, I'm going to let it go. You find a song that energizes you, you put it on and you dance it out. Let's say you're driving home, you dance it out in your car. You dance it out in your car. People look at you weird. Who cares? Let it go. I do that all the time and people are like, what are you doing, crazy woman? I'm not crazy. Hey, I'm just having fun. I'm actually enjoying things, right? That's a good thing. Enjoy it. Life is meant to be enjoyed, guys. So you feel it, and then let's say you're driving and you're at a red light. Okay, you close your eyes. The light just turned red. You have about 60 seconds, right? You close your eyes, take a couple of deep breaths. Do that 5 times, and then open your eyes and see how bad that headache is. It probably went away. Your thoughts might feel a little clearer. You might just feel like this weight has been lifted off your shoulders, and you're like, okay, I feel a little bit better. And then you can start to get into the feelings of the good feelings that you want. You're like, oh, it feels good to not be so stressed. What would it feel like to be happy and joyful? Oh my gosh. And then you can start to explore that. And those are some other steps. But this is really what it's about, guys. It doesn't have to be hard. That's a huge thing I'm about. These changes that we want to make do not have to be this massive, oh my gosh, life change. No, it's about simple, consistent steps, simple shifts that you make daily over time that you guys know I'm all about joy. Is you start to let go of these things and these feelings that don't feel good, or this numbness that you don't want to have, and you start to say, what would it be like if I felt joy? What would it be like if I felt free? What would it be like if I felt easy? What would that feel like? And you just start to get curious of, I wonder what that would feel like. And then you start to say, wait a second, I can feel joy. I can feel good. And then you start to believe it, and then you start to feel it more, and then that becomes your state of being. And that's how you shift and transform from negative thinking. And I'm sorry, I'm not trying to say negative thinking like it's bad. It's just what's going on in your mind, and it's your current reality right now. But it doesn't have to be your reality forever. And that's how you can transform, and you can truly live a life that is what I call fueled by joy. Because you're doing things that feel good. You're doing things that light you up. You're doing things that sing to your soul. And isn't that what we want, right? Don't we want to feel good? So I hope this is resonating with you guys. I hope this is making sense. If you're having questions that come up, post them in here, let me know. So one of the questions that came up was how to change. Okay, good. You guys are good. All right, I got a couple more things for you. So someone asked, when you're starting to feel the feelings and notice feelings, do you want the situation to change your feelings, or do you want to change your feelings to change the situation? And here's what I say. You don't want to change your feelings at all. And you can't 100% change the situation. It's more about how you react to the situation. So I want you to notice your feelings. That's the huge part of what this whole training and talk about today is. It's about noticing what the feelings are and noticing how they show up for you and becoming aware of it, and then changing how you react to those feelings and changing that. I don't want to feel negative. I don't want to feel down. I don't want to feel numb anymore. I choose to feel joy. I choose to feel freedom. I choose to feel abundance. I choose to feel bliss. Whatever you choose to feel, it's you change the reaction to the situation. Because life is, like what's that quote? Life is 10% what happens to you and 90% of how you react to it. That's so true, right? So you're not changing your feelings by any means. You're noticing your feelings, you're changing how you react to them, and then you're choosing how you want to feel. You're choosing. You have a choice. You have a choice every single day. How do you want to feel? So you choose to feel the way you want to feel. But when feelings come up, you do not change them. You just notice them. Okay? So that's what that means. You notice the feelings. And I know this is hard, you guys. I know this is hard, which is why I'm here to help. Okay? Someone asked about... sorry, I'm just looking at here. Okay, another question that came up was, okay, and I kind of answered this already about being too sensitive. You notice that your feelings are based on your intuition, and you're nervous that you're classifying yourself as being sensitive. Well, noticing that you are trusting your intuition is amazing. That's really good. That's how you start to feel. Your intuition is your feelings like talking to you. Right? That's like trusting your gut. Trusting your gut is trusting your intuition. So that's amazing. And you're not sensitive. You're powerful. Being intuitive is a good thing. I'm intuitive, and I used to think it was bad. I was like, gosh, everyone's energy affects me and bothers me and whatever. No, it's a good thing. And just notice it, but don't be so obsessive about it, right? Notice it, notice how it feels. Okay, this feels good. All right, I want more of this. Okay, this feels bad. All right, then you go through those steps. You notice it, you question, you start to get curious of why this is showing up. Then you notice where it is and just coming in your body, and then you let it go. You move and you let it go. You let those negative things go versus just focusing on it and thinking, oh my gosh, I feel this way. Oh my gosh, that's staying in your head. I want you to go through these steps and get into your body and get into the feelings of it. So that's not a bad thing at all. It's not a bad thing by any way, shape, or form. Okay, hold on, you guys. I'm going to take a quick drink because I've been talking a bunch. Stay hydrated. Drink your water. Okay, so the reason why I hope you guys are getting a lot out of this, but I think this is so important. And I think this is so important, in fact, that I have literally spent the last few days starting to create something for you all. And that one something turned into like 7 other things. So I want to explain a little bit of what I am in the process of creating. And I'm being 100% honest with you guys. It's not fully done, but it's in the works, and I want to tell you about it because I'm really excited about it, and I'm making it happen. So I am creating a course, digital course that is going to be live and then recorded, and you can access that after. That is called Feel So You Can Heal. And we talked about kind of the first steps today, but it's definitely a process. There's a lot of things that are involved with this, which is why I was like, I have to make this into a course. I have to make this into something that people can really dig deep and learn from. And so that's exactly what I'm doing. I am creating this because I'm going to get emotional. I wish I had something like this. I figured it out on my own to an extent, but then I got help, and I got a lot of help, but I wish I learned this sooner. I really wish I did, and that's why I said I have to put this out into the world because it's needed. And I have to do it in my way because I know people who understand the way that I have felt before, and I have helped people work through this, and I want to help more people work through this. So that's why I've created this thing. So it's called Feel So You Can Heal. There's going to be 5 weeks. Thank you. I really appreciate that, Jan. I care because here's the thing. I know that every single person listening here, this is you guys, this is real here. This is the real deal. What I am all about is teaching people who are of service to others, which is every single person of you listening, whether it's through your job, whether it's through your family, whether it's through who you are as a person. And let's be honest, it's really about who you are as a person. You give and care so much about other people, but you never really learned how to care for yourself. And I want you to learn that, because when you learn how to truly feel, how to truly heal yourself and really care for yourself and put yourself first, because of the person you are going to impact even more people. You're going to change even more lives, whether it's through your work, how you show up at work, whether it's through how you show up as a mom, how you show up in your family, how you show up as a wife, as you show up as a husband, as you show up as a friend, as you show up as a partner, as you show up as a human being. You're going to be a better person because you're more connected to who you really are, how you feel, what you want. And that's how I believe we can heal the world. You guys are healers. You are people that impact others' lives. And if you can impact your own life to the extent that you impact other people's lives, you're going to impact other people's lives even more. So that's why I care, because I know how important you are to this world. And we need to take care of each other, right? So, and here's the thing, guys. I have somebody taking care of me too, right? I have a support system. I have a family that loves me. I have good, close friends. I work with coaches. I have a support system. That's why I'm here doing the work that I'm doing, is that I have people that help and support me through this, all of this. All right, anyway, so what we're going to do, and I have the kind of framework of all of the information in here, and I just want to tell you what some of the things we're going to be covering, because it's really cool. So it's about getting out of your head and into your body and learning how to really feel, and doing that by tapping into your feelings, which we started a little bit today, but it's getting even deeper on what you want, how you want to feel. But also ways to really get into your body. So there's like some different yoga stuff where you're actually tapping and getting into your body. There's a lot of different movements that you can use. So I'm going to show you a lot of those things. And then we're going to talk about getting into alignment. So once you start to feel, how do you learn how to feel in a way that doesn't like pull you in one direction or the other, like to one extreme of really high vibe to really low, oh my gosh, I'm feeling all these awful things. So it's getting into alignment with what feels good. But the cool thing about it is I'm going to teach you guys how to get into physical alignment, like ways to posture your body. I'm going to talk a lot about posture and give you like literal strengthening exercises because this is one of my areas of expertise. But how to put yourself physically into alignment to actually make your body function as it should. Like, did you know that leaning forward, and granted I'm leaning forward right now so that I can see you guys, but this is actually more work, more energetic work for your body. Like your body has to do more and put more effort to sit hunched over. When you stand up in proper alignment, your skeletal system is like, oh, thank you. Your respiratory, like you can breathe more easily. The blood's flowing through. So we're going to talk about how to do that. But then we're going to talk about how to get into energetic alignment. So to get things to feel good and so that you're doing things through flow, and not doing things because you're forcing it, right? This stuff about feeling and getting into the energy of feeling is a little weird and out there and confusing, and you don't want to force it, because if you're forcing it, then you're actually, blocking the flow of energy and letting things be easy. So it's really about, and getting into alignment is about letting things be easy, like physically, but also energetically and emotionally. So that's pretty powerful. We're also going to talk about so I talked about getting into alignment, and then we're going to be unlocking our energetic flow. So that is really cool. That's where we get to explore things. So this is how I'm going to incorporate a lot of things with movement, and how movement can really allow you to get more into the flow of things that feel good and feel, because once you've identified those feelings and you're starting to notice feelings, you're like, okay, well, what do I do with this? How can I do more of what feels good? So we're going to talk about getting into the flow. We're going to do different breath work and ways to breathe into different parts of your body. And I've talked to this with some of you guys before, but it's like you go to a yoga class and they're like, breathe into your hips and inhale, and you're like, what the hell are you talking about? How do I breathe into my hip? I don't know. So I'm gonna actually teach you guys how to actually do that. There's different types of breath, so we're gonna go into that a little bit, and then we're also going to talk about, you're feeling all the feels. Oh my gosh, what is this? I don't know how to deal with this. How do I communicate this? Like, how do I let people know that this is what I'm feeling? And so we're going to talk about communicating these feelings in an authentic way, but also communicating them assertively in a way that comes across as like, hey, you know what? Right now I'm feeling upset, and I just want to let you know that I'm upset, and not being like passive aggressive or aggressive or anything like that. Because you guys, I was the queen for a while of these like very passive aggressive notes I would leave to my roommate, be like, thank you so much for putting the dishes away. You know, when I was really just angry, and I should have said, you know what, I'm frustrated and angry that I'm always putting away the dishes and whatever, you know. So we're going to talk about that, and then we're going to talk about learning how to surrender, control, and have faith. So that is a little overview of everything. There's going to be coaching calls with me, or coaching where I go through all of this content. There's going to be a ton of bonuses. There's going to be some breathwork stuff. There's going to be some movement stuff, yoga, like a little mini yoga class for you. I'm working out all of the little extras, but it's going to be a lot of good stuff. So if any of you are wanting to join that, I would love to have you. It's going to start at the end of the month, but I know a lot of you guys have been asking me a lot about this. So for any of you who are listening to this right now, or who listen to this live in the group, I'm going to give you the whole thing for a ginormous discount. So first off, the value of all of this stuff, I mean, I haven't even added it up, but it's like probably $5,000 worth of stuff. You guys, I am jam-packing this with a ton of information. This course is going to be around $900 for all of this stuff, all of this content, all this information. There's going to be live like Q&A calls and lots of good stuff in here. I'm going to give it to you guys, if you want, for half price, for $497 tonight, if you want to join me. I'm doing this because I think it's so important. I also believe it's really important, if you feel the need to do this, to invest in yourself. Because I did so much stuff for free myself, but I didn't actually make a change until I invested in myself. And so I really want you to, if you feel ready to make this shift and make this change and start to feel things and really get into your body and get into how to feel and what it feels like and make these changes, invest in yourself. If you're like, I can't spend almost $500, don't worry. I'm setting up a payment plan that is going to be $147 a month, and you're just going to pay that for a couple months. So you can totally do that. You know, it's like a nice pair of jeans if you get designer jeans or something, or it's like 2 meals out to dinner. So I really want you to think about it in a way of, you know what? If I really want this, I really need this, then it's time for you to do it, okay? So if you want that, if you're like ready to do it today, just either comment below in this video and say, Katie, yes, I'm ready. Please give me this stuff now. Also, I just decided this right now in this moment. Hold on, I'm just gonna pull this across. The sun is like blinding my eyes. Okay. That if you want to do this right now, because it doesn't start till the end of the month, you get a free session with me. And that's valued at over $300. So if you want to do this right now, you can comment below. You can send me a private message on Facebook to Katie Henry, or you can go to my business page, which is Dr. Katie Henry, and message me there. And let me know. If you're ready, I'll get you the info and we'll get you signed up. But this course is so needed, and this course is really important to me because it's something that I didn't have that I really wish I had. And I know how many people need this. So I'm creating it. It's coming out to the world. And yeah. So if you feel called, if you want this, reach out, let me know, send me a message, comment in this video, and I'll get it to you. But I also want you to remember the 5 steps that I talked about today. And I want to take you, just summarize again everything that we talked about. It's about, number 1, recognizing the way you're feeling, whether you're feeling good, bad, off, whatever. Getting these strange glares. There we go. That's better. You're feeling good, bad, or off. Whatever it is, recognize the feeling. Number 2 is notice what's going on around you. Notice what's going on in your life, or notice if there's a pattern that you're starting to get angry and upset a lot. Step 3 is to notice, and as you're noticing things, you want to start to question and say, why is this going on? Or what happened to me today? Or whatever. Step 3 is to notice where it's showing up in your body. And it's probably going to be in the same place if you're feeling these same things over and over again. Step 4 is to let it go. Let it go, and then move. Move your body so that you can really release it. And step 5 is to allow yourself to explore what you want to feel. What would it feel like? What would it be like to feel good? What would it be like to feel whatever? And don't judge it. Don't overthink it. Don't overanalyze it. Just feel it. Stop thinking and feel. So I want to thank you guys so much for listening. And if you have any questions, or if you want to join the Feel So You Can Heal program, you can email me, katie@drkatiehenry.com. Facebook message me. You can Facebook message me on my business page, which is, or my fan page, whatever it's called, Dr. Katie Henry, or just send me a message to Katie Henry and let me know. Be like, Katie, I'm in. I need this. Please help me. Because I want to help. Because I know how many lives you impact. So let's put ourselves first and heal ourselves so that we can heal, impact, and help the lives of all the people that we are meant to help and serve. And as always, go do something today that brings you joy. The more you experience joy, the more joy is going to be in your life. So go fuel your joy. Thank you guys so much. I am Dr. Katie Henry, and I will see you soon. Bye.